Hello!
Hello!
We're back with another review of a movie/series related to games.
This time it's a series.
Yeah, it's a TV series and it's Witcher.
Ooh.
Yeah, but why do we say that it's related to a game and not the books? Because, let's face it, if it were not for the CD Projekt Red game, the books would only be known by the Polish people and some die-hard fantasy fans. Yeah. So, what can we say about the series?
We can start by saying what we like, if we like it. Did you like it?
I like the first season, I don't know if it counts,
It counts.
and I like specific parts of the third season. I thought the second season was we could live without the second season, because the first season was quite faithful to the books up to a point, and the third season was also quite faithful to the books by taking into account the mess they had made in the previous seasons. First of all, let's say here that I have read all the books, I have not played the games. Eva has played the games, has not read all the books.
Yes.
So, yeah, we have a little book game opinion.
Yeah, but to be honest, I believe the games tried a lot to stay faithful within the limits of the licensing.
I think the games had an extra plot, right? Because now I'm playing the game for our
They
channel.
were sequels.
Online.
So yes,
Yeah, unofficial sequels.
unofficial sequels.
Based on the books.
But they tried to stay faithful with the whole story, the whole plot. They tried to stay very faithful within the licensing limit.
So about the series, what did you think about it?
I liked it. As you said, the first season was nice. It was very nice. It tried to stay faithful,
Yeah.
and
They kept a lot of the stories.
kept a lot of the stories. Some things were a bit questionable at first, but they rolled nicely. So it was very, very nice. It made sense. Things made sense. So I liked the world they built. And all things considered, it was very nice to see what they did with the little stories of The Last Wish. Because it was The Last Wish.
Yeah, the first season was the first book, The Last Wish, more or less. And I think that's why they did this strange montage with the past and present and future, because the first book is also like that a little
It's
bit.
exactly the same way.
It says a story in some chapters, then back, then forward, then again back, then you have some interludes with Witcher that is being the Geralt that is being healed by Nanake, I think.
Yes.
And
Neneke.
Nanake, yeah.
And while he's recovering, he's remembering stories, things that happened in his life, and some of those were what brought him to the healing place, the temple of Melitele. And
yes, and the point is that the series is not well written, in my opinion,
could be better,
at all.
could be a bit better.
It's okay directed. The actors and the actresses do what they can, but I think they lack a vision in directors. That's my opinion, personal opinion. Of course, art is subjective.
I believe the actors were very good. I believe they all worked very nicely with what they were given.
Anyway, so if you're a fan of the books, you're gonna love the first season, I believe, and parts of the third, like I did. If you're fans of the games, I don't know.
Oh, the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. Because the only difference is that you don't see many aspects that you see in the games, and you have a detailed description in the books as well. Like, for example, the potions, or how Kaer Morhen works, or how. I mean, you do see some aspects of how magic works, but not so much. You don't see aspects of the signs, you don't see details for the potions, you don't see many things. You do see them only maybe a bit in the first season and then in the very last episode.
And my objection with the magic, as in other things in the series, is that they had a perfectly well established universe. And they chose to butcher it, I don't know, in order to prove that they are better, in order to prove that they are different, in order to leave their mark. I mean, I don't believe that it's like this thing that some people say about wokeness and stuff like that. I think it's just personal ego and ambition, sick ambition of the writers.
One is that I believe that when you are a writer and you revision every aspect of your books again and again and again, and you refine everything again and again,
And you simplify it.
and it's different when you want to show it in movies or series. You have to simplify it because you want as many people as possible to understand it and watch it. That is my opinion. They took something quite simple, like the chaos, as they say in the series, and they say that witches and wizards and sorcerers, not wizards, witches and sorcerers are actually something like avatars of the whole thing. They just use it.
They draw from it.
They draw and they give.
But I really can't remember in the books because I think it's not. In the books, I don't remember it being a huge issue about how the magic happens. Like, they spend so much time in the series too.
The books...
I don't remember at all being such a fuss about the magic. You know, it just happens.
From the little things I remember in the books, I believe that it was about the elvish blood in their veins and how they used the elven magic and the elven scriptures and all that. They changed it a bit in the series, but I don't believe it was that different. And that's why I think that it's not about wokeness, it's not about we can do it better, it's not about I have an idea and it's better and I will do it. That is besides every other point. I think that it's just, they started to simplify things and they just made it just became its own thing in the process. That's what I believe. Was it good? I don't know. It worked in the series, but I don't know. Yeah, of course, it's not like the books, but...
Okay, I just think it's a pity because the books had a really solid universe in place and they just mixed it and... I mean, why have witches from Aretusa in Nilfgaard, where in the books Nilfgaard had their own witches which were completely different in personality and how they make their spells, etc., from the Aretusa school. And it was also building up to the tension between the north and the south and all
You
that.
definitely explained the tension, yes.
In the series, they just put like Nilfgaard was just another state that had witches from Aretusa and they rebelled, and this is not simplification, this is just like mixing things up my own way just for fun. I mean,
That might have been something like
anyway, I mean, I believe that by now everyone has seen the series that cares about it. Cavill is no longer the Witcher, the series might never have a fourth season, so this Hemsworth guy might also never be the Witcher, so we will not know if he was good enough.
Maybe he will for a while. So we would like you to go in the comments and tell us about your personal opinions about details that you liked or didn't like, what you could work with or not. For example, I did not like much of Jaskier. He was okay at first.
He was perfect at the first season, but then he just went...
And to think that in the books he had this great character. In the games he was kind of different, but pretty much the same. And then you see something completely different in the series. So yeah, I believe Jaskier needed more to stay more faithful. And there were also a few things that I didn't like. For example, the way they portrayed the Dryads. I did not like that.
The costumes the first season were awful,
Yeah, the
especially
first
of
season,
Nilfgaard.
they both the first seasons when it came to costumes. The witches were great, of course, but you know, I didn't like, for example, the Dryads. And then they did in the third season. I see the Dryad, and I'm like, now that is a Dryad forest with Dryad people. They fixed it, but it was just for one, maybe 2 episodes.
Where they appeared.
Too bad. That was too bad because there were a few more episodes in the first season and they could have used that.
Yeah, maybe they didn't have the budget in the first season that they had in the third.
That's a possibility. Yes.
Anyway, that's all from us. And goodbye.
Bye bye.